Hello there and welcome. In this episode we are looking at sumps. What are they, what do they do, and some basic designs. So sumps are a tank that are below your main aquarium. They are mainly used in marine, but you can use them in freshwater if you like. Sumps are used for numerous amounts of things, but generally the reason they exist is to hold all of the equipment and keep it out of your main display. They are attached to your main aquarium by a downpipe, or sometimes two. The water comes in from the aquarium, goes through your sump system, and is then pumped back out via a return pump. In this particular sump, we also have our skimmer. We have our heating system and filter socks for extra mechanical filtration. We have a chamber with some sponge, an air stone for extra oxygenation, and a little bit of live rock just to weigh the sponge down. Also on the left hand side we have a blank chamber which contains an auto top-up system, which is useful for keeping salinity in your aquarium stable. So with all that, you'll notice that sumps are chambered. So in this particular one there are 5 different chambers, giving you the option to use each chamber for different things. This particular setup is what I would describe as a classic setup. So you've got filter socks, a skimmer, some mechanical filtration, and then your return pump. That is what most people will have in their sumps. However, you can get other things to add, like phosphate reactors, calcium reactors. You could fill this chamber completely with live rock. So there are many different ways of setting up your sumps. We'll just quickly have a look at some other designs. So this design is a moving bed filter. So we can see comes down here through a filter sock, which obviously needs a clean. In this chamber we have some air stones giving us some rotation on the filtration media. And again in the second chamber we've got the same. Finally in the fourth chamber we have some sponges just to give a little bit of mechanical filtration, and then the return pump. So this sump is completely different from what I would say a classic sump should be like. The reason I've chosen to use a moving bed filter rather than all the other stuff in the previous sump is because I want maximum biological filtration, and this moving bed filter will give me that. This system is completely fish, so the breakdown of ammonia to nitrate is my #1 priority. You'll also note there isn't a skimmer on this system, and that's because this system gets huge water changes every week. Again, it is fish only and they don't mind that. So now looking at another type of sump. This is very similar to the moving bed filter that I just showed you. However, we also have a Refugium. Now this is quite a new Refugium and it hasn't quite grown out yet, but you can see the idea. We have a light on top which will grow the macroalgae. The macroalgae will take out a lot of the nitrates and phosphates from the water, make sure the water quality is good. It'll also provide a home for copepods and amphipods, which is ideal for some fish, such as pipefish and mandarins. But also I have a moving bed filter there as well, because I want that extra biological filtration, albeit this one is slightly smaller than the last. Now, what is the benefit of a Refugium? Well, it's a very natural way of removing nitrates and phosphates from the aquarium, and also it provides a nice habitat for lots of good bugs in the tank. These will eventually go through the filter system and end up in your main display. So if you've got hard to keep things like mandarins, pipefish, even seahorse, a Refugium can be a good way of adding some extra food to that system. Now, these particular types of filtration aren't typical of sumps, especially the moving bed filter. These are kind of optional ones that I've done, and they've worked quite well on these systems. However, if you're going to be doing a sump, the more traditional sump is probably the one you want to choose to begin with. Although Refugiums can be a good thing to add to any system, even new ones. So sumps are a very useful thing to have on a marine system. As you can see, it tidies up a lot of the clutter you would get otherwise in your aquarium, and can make your display a lot tidier. Although they sound complicated, they really aren't, and the design of the sump is absolutely down to the user. There is no one defined setup for a sump, although there are standards. The best thing to do is experiment with your sump design, work out what's best for you and what's best for your aquarium, and treat a sump as a modular item. You can always change or add things as time progresses to make your system run even better. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also check out my Patreon feed for exclusive videos, updates, and experiences. Thank you for watching, and happy fish keeping!